Hey guys, this is Tim and welcome back to my channel. This is a follow-up video of the previous video in which I explained the energy reader PCB for my energy meter readout project. I've gathered all the necessary parts to finish the PCB assembly, and in the next video we'll do the final assembly and testing, of course. So all there's left to solder on are infrared diodes, emitting diode and a receiving diode to be precise. So let's get to it. So the T1 diode labeled on the silk screen is the receiving diode. It's the SFH 903, as you can read. The negative side of the photo transistor is placed on the inside, so you can see the cutout right here, if my camera is able to focus, right here on this leg. So that needs to go right there on the inside, like that. Now I'm not sure how long it's needing to be, but what I do know is that this one is a little bigger than the receiver diode and will not go deep enough to completely touch the surface. There will be a space left below the emitter, as you can see. It's not flush with the PCB, so I think I will place the receiver at about the same height, so that both will be at the same height. It makes it easier for mounting the device later. So that said, I think I'm going to start with the sender and not with the receiver, because I get a height reference. So my soldering iron has already heated up, and let's get to it. So I've tested the design and the connections of the PCB and everything was fine. I will test them one more time when I've soldered the infrared diodes on it, so just to make sure there are no shorts or anything. This is going to be a little tedious, but I think I'll manage it. Yeah, there you go. And another one, I was soldering it from this side and hoping not to burn my fingers. This might not be the best tip choice for this job, but it's time to solder this one, and that is the final component that goes onto this PCB. Well, 4 more jumper cables, but now I'll stick it down. So there you go. It's blue tacked up. Well, it's not actually blue, but you get a point. It's sticky and it will hold the diodes in place for me. So let's get to it. This one will be a lot trickier because of the surrounding components. Now the surface area of this tip is a lot smaller, so it will take a little more time to heat up the pad and the component. So that's way cleaner than the previous solder tip. Almost flew away there. Yes, yeah. There you go. So that is it. A good, nice solder joint on both diodes. So now I can take off the blue tack. Well, the rest should burn off while I'm touching the top part of the PCB. Well, actually that doesn't make any sense because there are no traces on the... No, this is the top part. So there are no traces at the bottom, so... Yeah. Alright, this one is... Ah shit, it's not straight. It's not very straight. I hope that that doesn't matter. Let me grab some jumper cables and solder them onto the PCB. So I've grabbed 4 jumper cables that will go into the pads. They're male to female, so we can plug them in a serial to USB converter later on, and that makes life a lot easier. Or into a ESP32 or 866. Now I've got the schematic for the PCB right here, and if you have the PCB right here, on the left side of the PCB you have the ground connection, in the middle you have the RX and the TX, and on the right side of the PCB you have the VCC connection, and it's both 3.3 and 5 volts compatible, so yeah, just use what you want and it should work. So now let's solder the jumper wires. Maybe I should have done that first, because now the PCB is standing up very strangely. So my camera is unable to focus on the PCB holder, but I've got another solution. My solder, my tin. It fits perfectly on the on the solder tin holder thingy, plasticky. So yeah, let's use that one. Now I'm going to pre-tin the jumper cables a little. That's always very good to do, and yeah, otherwise they won't stick as good. So grab some tin, pre-tin them. And the last one, like that. Right, so with the ground wire I'm going to use the darkest one, because with a big pack of male to female we don't always get the option to have black, the inner two doesn't matter, and red wires, because yeah, it's a pack. So I think I'm going to solder from right to left, because that's easier, I think. A little more like that. I've got the wrong tip on it. Wait, I'm going to replace my tip and secure the PCB, because this isn't working. So I placed the soldering tip. Let's see if it's hot. No, it's not hot. I will wait a few moments and check if the iron is hot. Yeah, there you go. Put some solder on it. Yeah, align badly. So, like that. Come on. Like that. That's one. That's 2. That's 3. And that's 4. Now I'm going to touch up the pads a little because they're I've used bad solder yesterday in order to solder them. So, oh shit. There you go, that's better, that's way better. I was testing my cheap solder and found out that it didn't work on this project very well. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's very good. Ah, that's very nice. So let's grab the RS-232 to USB converter and try it out. But before we do that, let's actually test the device out. I've put my meter in continuity tests, as you can see. So let's touch both sides of the diode, the transmitting diode or the receiving diode right now. Until I touch them, there's no connection, of course, as it should be. And the other diode, no connection. And those two pads, nothing, 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 those nothing. So it looks alright. Now I've grabbed my little converter here. So as you can remember, the darkest wire is the ground wire. So let's connect that to the ground cable. Right there. The red wire is the receiving wire, so that connects to the RX pin, and the orange wire connects to the TX pin. So let's shove that on like that. And finally the yellow wire connects to the VCC output. So, no, my camera isn't autofocusing. Let's connect it to the VCC output, which is the pin that is next to the TX pin, to the orange pin. And that should be right here. Now I will put the jumper back on the 3.3 volts, because that's the voltage I'll be using with my ESP. I'll be using an ESP, I think 8266, in order to read it out. So let's actually test it. So as you can see, I've set up my scope with the PCB. So we can see the serial data output. So I've not yet set up the decoding option yet, so let me do that right now. Reset the positions. No history, decode. It's the UART protocol. Signal channel 1 is the, and let me check, that's the receiving, so that's good, and channel 2 is the sending one. Let's drop the threshold a bit to around 2 volts. 2 volts, perfect. There you go. Now let's configure those are fine. I think that should do it. Yeah, everything's set. Let's increase the... Alright, so let's connect to it. As you can see, when I press a key, you can see a little flash on the converter, but not on the scope, and that is no good. Maybe on the, let me increase the resolution a bit. Where it is? Ah, there. Wait. Is that 0 volts? It is. And the receiving one is 2. And that is no good. So I think that there is something not working as expected. Oh. As you can see, when I'm holding the button, little things pop up, but they're on the same. Let me increase the resolution here. That's like that, and bring them up. Yeah, that's not good. On the RX and TX rails, the same signal. Yeah. Let me put my finger on top of it and check if, well, it could be that the one is reading from the other. So if I put a paper in between it and no, it makes no sense. If I put a paper on top of it, it should increase. No, there's something wrong with the PCB, and I'm guessing it's a reflow error, that the solder hasn't made contact yet. So we'll look into that another time. For now, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please stay on this channel and subscribe. So please check the channel out and subscribe if you like this type of content. Please post suggestions in the comments down below on items I should review. I will review the scope for sure, so that's no problem. I've also got a few parts that I'm wanting to make a repair video of, so nice things coming up really soon. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, leave a like and share this with your friends, and I will see you again next time.